Hello everyone and welcome to my channel where I talk about Asian dramas. The good, the bad, and the ones that make the bad ones look good. Today I'm going to be doing a combined review of two dramas, Story of Kunning Palace and Scent of Time. The reason why I wanted to do these two together is because both of them have similar storylines. They aired almost together, and a lot of other people also compare the two. So, first up, Story of Kunning Palace, which is a 38 episode drama by iQIYI starring Bailu and Zhang Linghe. It's a reverse harem time travel drama where a female protagonist, a supposedly evil queen in her past life, on the day of her death, time travels back to before all of it had started, and this time she is determined to not walk down the same path. This drama, okay, how should I say this? I just don't understand why people are even talking about it. Now, on the surface level, it may seem great. It certainly has an interesting plot. An anti-heroine is not something that we get often. Except this drama is bad all around. Now, of course, I understand that not everything has to be a critically acclaimed project. I understand that. I appreciate the enjoyable, cracky dramas just as much as I like those that are actually technically good. But this drama is neither of those. Don't let any of those hypers make you believe otherwise. This drama is just all around bad. The direction is bad, the scripting is bad, and the acting is just as bad. I know that Bailu has a lot of fans. People always talk about how much of a great actress he is, and even Zhang Linghe received a lot of hype for his acting in this drama, but I'm sorry, no. First of all, Bailu. She is supposed to be a queen in this drama. A queen. The literal top of the world, second only to the king, who has absolute control over people's lives. She can literally order people to die. Her small gestures, her small words, her throwaway comments, everything is, history. Except she has none of the bearings of a queen. If the show wasn't telling me that she is a queen, I wouldn't realize it at all. Zhang Linghe as well. I have no idea what his character was supposed to be in this drama. Was he supposed to be evil? Was he supposed to be grey? Was he supposed to be a good guy? What am I even watching? I mean, of course, the script isn't helping, but Bailu and Zhang Linghe themselves, they have no idea how to portray their characters. For example, for a majority of this drama, Bailu is supposed to be utterly scared of the ML, which is Zhang Linghe's character, except you have no idea why. Because you feel no intimidation from him at all. You are not going to believe that this guy is scary or can hurt the effort. At no moment do you ever get that feeling. He just looks like a very normal guy with some good styling, I guess. I have seen some screenshots from this drama floating around to show just how Zhang Linghe, very well, supposedly very well portrayed this bad guy, except those screenshots were more luck. When I saw those screenshots in the actual drama, they happened by pure luck. It was because the styling and the makeup artist had some good idea about what this character was supposed to be, so they made Zhang Linghe that way, and the camera just happened to capture it that way, which is why those shots managed to happen. But I'm sorry, Zhang Linghe himself was not acting in them at all, or at least acting convincingly. Just across the board, the acting that is required from much of the main cast is way below acceptable level for this kind of a story, for this for the heavy themes that it tries to explore. This none of these people are up to the task, or at least they were not directed well. And speaking of direction, oh my gosh, the director has no idea how to establish anything. This entire drama is about tell, don't show. Bailu is supposed to be evil. You don't get any of that from her acting or from the script or anything. Zhang Linghe, nothing. The shots, the camera movement, everything is so bad and so weird, so unflattering. And just let's just talk about the story for a second. For starters, Bailu is supposed to be an evil queen who is now reformed, right? Which is all great. Except being reformed does not mean that you suddenly turn into freaking Mother Teresa. The main point of this drama, the main plot point for the FL of this drama is that she wants to stop the demise of this one guy's family who in her previous life was someone who had, I'm sorry, this is a trigger warning, but who had repeatedly raped her. What? What? I'm sorry. What? Like, just give me a moment. What? What? Yes, he was, supposedly her best friend up until the point that he decided that he needed to rape her because she refused to return his affections. One day, I just, how is that shippable? I mean, why am I supposed to care about this character? And why should anyone in this world, evil or not, care about this character? The FL herself at the start says that she doesn't owe this guy anything, but for some reason, after hearing her say that, we are supposed to be invested in saving this family from not getting exiled. Why? Least of all, an evil queen should know better than to care about this person. Why is she going around being sentimental about him? He is trash. Let him be where he belongs, which is in the dustbin. And all of the politics in this drama, which by the way, a lot of from what I've heard, I dropped it at around episode 14 because by then I was already fast forwarding a lot. But from what I've heard from other people who have watched the entire thing, pretty much for the entire first 30 episodes, it's mostly politics, which is having to save the trash's family for some reason. And it's not even good politics. It's very boring. None of the schemers are interesting. The plots aren't that smart or interesting. I mean, honestly, if you think that this was a good political drama, please go out and watch more political dramas. They are great. Please do not base your judgment on this crappy show's politics because you've left a lot to be desired. Actually, you cannot even call it a political drama. It's that bad. As for the romance, I don't have much to say because the chemistry wasn't something explosive. It was just, I mean, it was almost zero, and these characters themselves were stupidly written. They do not feel like real people, so obviously you are not going to be sitting there and caring about them and caring about seeing them make their way towards each other. Now if you think that I'm being too critical, listen, I am all for cracky, enjoyable dramas. I understand them, I have watched them, I appreciate them just as much as critically good dramas. but it fails there as well. Nothing about this is interesting. It is not plotted well enough to catch your interest and engage you. Everything about this, honestly, this drama would have completely failed if it didn't have big names attached to it, and that's just the hard truth. And all those names did was exist. They didn't really save this drama in any way. All they did was just make people watch. That's it. There were only two things that this drama had going for it. First, I liked how the intro was the Ethel's monologue from her past life uh, in the moment of her death, when she wishes that she could redo everything and be free. And the second one was the character of Zhang Ze. Now, hear me out. I have seen a lot of hate for this character. Maybe he becomes bad later on. I don't know. But at least at the point where where I stopped, Zhang Ze was the only one who was acting out of them all. He was the only one who had any sort of presence. He was the only one from whom I could feel some kind of a character, an actual character. And this is when he hadn't even said much, but it was all there in his body language and the way that he carried himself, just his aura. He at least felt like someone that, I wanted to get to know more of. He piques your interest, and that is thanks to the actor, honestly. Which now leads me to the next drama in this video, which is Scent of Time. Yes, I decided to check this out because of the actor who played Zhang Ze, because again, he piqued my interest. uh, Despite how bad everything was, he was the only one doing anything well. So obviously, I was interested in seeing his filmography, and the comments let me know that he was the ML of Scent of Time. So of course, I had to check it out. Scent of Time is a 30 episode drama that aired just a bit before Story of Kunning Powers. I have to say, this drama completely went under my radar before because it just looked like a bad B grade drama. I mean, just look at its poster. Nothing about it incites faith in the production. So I had actually no interest in it. I mean, the plot at that time, it just sounded like a repeat of Lost Track of Time, and the casting and everything, it's just, nothing about it piqued my interest. But because of Zhang Ze, I checked it out, and I was surprised that this was actually good, or at least at the start. In this drama, again, you have an Effa who was evil in her previous life, sees the consequences of her actions, and in the moment of death, she wishes that she could redo everything, and her wish gets fulfilled. So she time travels back to before everything had hit the fan. Right off the bat, what I had liked was that the show actually thought about what kind of person this kind of a character would be, because the Effa in this, she is more sober and mature when she goes back, and of course, being evil, she does have the smarts to write her consequences. But most importantly, just because she goes back, it doesn't mean that she becomes overly sentimental and becomes overly good. She chooses to walk on the right path, but it's a choice. It's not like she suddenly changes. Her character doesn't suddenly become Mother Teresa, but she actually chooses to do things a certain way because she has seen the dire consequences of not walking on the right path. In her previous life, her sins had caught up to her via a character called Muyao, who is your typical candy affair, she falls from grace, and then she finds out that her family had been conspired against, and she sets out to right the wrongs. And in her case, the wrong was the FL and her family. So obviously, as you know, any candy story would go, that character met a rich lover and they take down her family, she received justice, etc. This drama is also a reverse harem, and it's a reverse harem that is done right. You actually don't know who she would be ending up with, or even if she will end up with any of her men. She has 3 of them in this drama, and all of them are different. The drama gives enough attention to each of the MLs, so you never actually know with complete surety who she will choose at the end. The romance between our ex Zhangze from Story of Kunning Palace and the FL mirrors the relationship between the ML and FL of Story of Kunning Palace. Here too, the FL is actually scared of him, but here you can actually feel why she would be scared of him, because he is the executor, he is on the side of justice. This FL has time traveled back, but she hasn't gone so back that her family is completely clean. No, her family is dirty, her past is dirty, and this guy is the judge. So if she gets caught by him, she's screwed, and she did get caught by him or his extended family in her first life. So it's very believable that she would be scared of him. And it's again not just tell but also show. You can feel his 2 thoughts, the ML's 2 thoughts of whether I should catch her. Is she suspicious, or oh, she's fine and I like her. Because if she does do something wrong, he is going to catch her. He isn't going to let her go free, because he stands on the side of justice. So in this case, you can actually, the conflict between the two is believable. The drama also seemed to be self-aware in the first half. Like, for example, you have to admit, since the main plot of this drama is the FL trying to save her family from getting executed, her family and herself, who have actually committed crimes, who have actually destroyed other people's lives. And in this drama, that destroying doesn't just mean taking away all of their money, but sending them to their deaths, having the women be sold as prostitutes or slaves, having the men killed, etc. So it's rough, like it's dark. They have done some truly crappy stuff that they need to answer for. But the FL's main objective, the entire plot, revolves around the FL trying to save her family. So there are definitely some questionable morals here. That is, should we really be rooting for her to be getting away from all of this scot-free? Of course, the FL tries to change her family. She does keep the evidence of her crimes and doesn't actually destroy it, because in case her family doesn't turn, then they are going to be needing to answer for their crimes. But the problem here is that just because they repent, does that mean that they should go free? So anyways, these kind of complications, at least in the first half, the drama seems to be self-aware about them. It's after the episode 20 mark where things start to fall out. While in the first half of the drama, as I said, the show was self-aware, and the show didn't paint the FL as the victim per se. It's not like she was, evil, but they also had the FL be aware that she also wasn't a victim. Exactly, she is trying to save her family, but the opposition also has every right to be against her. Except after the 20 episode mark, the show suddenly forgets what it was about, and all of a sudden the FL suddenly turns into a victim. she's painted as a victim. The FL starts thinking of herself as a victim, and it's just that's where everything falls apart, because honey, you have done wrong, your family has done wrong, you are not the victim here, you are trying to get away from all of your crimes without paying for it. For example, the FL, after the death of one important family member who was absolute trash, like that person was only good to her, but outside of that he was absolute trash, especially to women. Like he would beat them, he would kidnap them, he would force himself upon them, sell them out to his other friends like they were prostitutes. He was trash, okay? And this guy, he dies, except this FL, she is so sad over it, which fine, okay, fine, that person was your family member, fine. Except later on there is a scene where she goes to his grave and cries about how easy it is for lower people to die while the rich people get away with stuff. And here's the thing, that is ironic, because that person, the person who died, the person to whom she's crying about all of this to, he was that person, that rich person who would get away with killing other people just because he was rich. And then he died without paying for his crimes. So for the effort to sit there and cry to him and act like she's the victim in all of this, like her and this family member were the victim in all of this, it's ridiculous. Like, I'm sorry, he was the bad person. He and you, both of you, were people who got away with your crimes. And even now, just because the FL repents, just because the FL, internally repents, it's not like her or her family ever goes out to the victims and try to apologize sincerely to them or compensate them in any way. No, their repentance is just in the form of, okay, we won't do any more crimes, so let's just leave all of this behind and settle down somewhere small, have our own shop, and we can live peacefully forever. I am sorry, what? Just because you are giving up your higher position doesn't mean that you have repented enough. You are still going away on your own, on your own choice. You are going away to settle down somewhere and making enough money to get by, which is a privilege that 90% of people do not enjoy. So do not give me this nonsense about having repented enough, that all the suffering that they are now going through is undeserved. No, it's deserved, because you haven't actually repented, you haven't actually been judged, you haven't actually paid your sentence. So from here on out, the logic just falls out. The effort, she just, up until this point, she had seemed like a pretty cool, great character. Not bad, but a great character, and it was fine. But from here on out, once she starts thinking of herself and her family as victims and everyone else as bad, and the show actually backs her in that, their lens changes, then the show just falls apart, because the logic is just, it's ridiculous. It's a criminal trying to get away from their crimes, and this isn't the kind of psychological drama that can pull that off well. And of course, this is just one aspect of why the show fell down, but even in other parts of the drama, the writing just starts to meander, and most importantly, at this point, you are 99% sure that everything is a dream. So considering that it's a dream, a lot of these things just do not matter, because it's all a dream. So why am I sitting here witnessing all of this nonsense? That was one. And another part was that, this portion of the drama starts focusing more on the third ML, who is as interesting as a white wall. There's Literally nothing to him. He is a flat, absolute flat yes man kind of a character, and his backstory, his romance with the FL, it's not at all interesting. So all of these aspects together are going to make you get bored with the drama in this point, and I unfortunately had to finally drop this at episode 25 because I found that I just couldn't care about anything anymore. Everyone was annoying me, and so I just straight away skipped to the last episode. And I think I did a good thing by dropping it at 25, because the way that the last episode is, that's the only episode that matters in this whole drama, because nothing else that happens in this drama is, oh my gosh, it's like the first 29 episodes were tagged on to episode 30, a 29 episode long filler. That was what this drama was, because you even find out that one of the Emmas was, he doesn't even exist in the real world, and that's just ridiculous. Why did we spend so much time on him and his romance with the FO when he didn't even exist? And she can never meet him. It's not even like a parallel world. It's a dream. It's an actual dream. The last episode again was good, but obviously that's one episode of a 30 episode story. Everything else was completely unnecessary at that point. So sadly, despite how close this drama got to becoming a good watch, I had to write this one off. And of course, considering that I've dropped both of these dramas, I don't think I need to tell you that they are definitely not worth it. Though I have to say, again, the actor who played Zhangze in Story of Kunning Palace and the ML in Scent of Time is good. Is good. He has acceptable levels of acting skills, and again, he at least knows how to portray his character. So that's it. That was my review for both of these dramas, and I'll see you again next time with another show. Bye.